All right, so what's good, homies? It's your man, Dr. BOA. Women these days are bolder than they ever been when it comes to showing the type of things that they are capable of behind closed doors. Gone are the days where a woman is a lady in the streets, but a freak in the sheets. Now she is a freak in the sheets and a freak in the streets, and the lady never comes out of her. Now, somebody sent me a video on IG, man, where this chick was in a hibachi restaurant. You know, I did a video on me sitting in one of those where they cook right in front of you. You know, they sauteing your stuff right in front of you, man. And the guys spraying water and brown sauce and oil on the food, man. They're just cooking. And this chick decides, man, that she wants to have a flashback, man, to being super soaked. And just to witness this type of display goes to show that when you're a man, you have to really be aware of the woman you're dealing with. And there are always telltale signs to let you know that you're dealing with this type of woman. But there is a thin line between hoe tendencies and hoe activity. Let's take a deep dive on this one. But first, let's elevate to a higher plane. Prepare for takeoff. Now, what you see in this video is a woman who's in public acting a damn fool, doing the type of things that no man who is really looking for a woman to be in his life would accept. And you see how these guys, you can look at the guy and the way he's interacting, he feels like he came up just based on the woman's attractiveness. And here's the thing about attractiveness. It dies. Every year, a woman becomes less and less attractive. So why even pursue a woman for anything serious based on that? And here's the thing. You may say, well, the guy, how do you know he's pursuing her for anything serious? Look how he's looking at her. If he's not pursuing her for anything serious, he don't have any questions about her activity. The last thing you saw in the video is him asking questions like, what's up with this? What? Hey, man, look, you got to know who you're dealing with. Anytime a woman goes out with that type of shirt on and she's accentuating her body as if it's the only thing she has, it's because she realizes it's the only thing she has. And a woman who knows that all she has is her body, as she gets closer to that wall, that's when she starts to try to latch on to a beta male, because she knows that that body is not going to work with alpha men, with powerful men, with quality men, because they have younger, finer options. And the man who's looking for a wife doesn't care about younger, finer options for the most part. I mean, you know, I do. If that's my situation, you know, I'm looking for a virgin. So, but the majority of men aren't looking for any type of qualities except beauty when they look at a woman. And here's the thing, that's fine if you know that you're dealing with a woman who has a high moral fiber or a strong moral compass. These women have nothing of the sort. We keep seeing video after video of some woman acting a damn fool in public, man, just for attention. And they never get attention by doing something athletic or doing something intellectual or doing something professional. They always get this type of attention for doing something scandalous. And you man got to understand, man, that's just what you're dealing with out here, man. And the thing is, man, American women are just so inclined these days to just do whatever they want to do because, and here's the problem. These women weren't even alive during the time where women couldn't do nothing. You think I want to hear some woman telling me about how she feel about how women have been oppressed? Girl, you ain't been oppressed. You 23 years old. When you been oppressed? Since you was born, you've been able to do whatever you want to do. Your mama was able to do whatever she wanted to do. You ain't seen no oppression. That's why I'm buying to it. You got women in their 20s and 30s, man, talking about fighting for women's liberation. Fool, your mama wasn't even born during that time. What are you talking about? But you guys sit and now they got you flying the flag of a fight that doesn't even exist anymore. Like this whole NAACP the NCAA tournament thing where, you know, the women's tournament doesn't have the financial backing of the men's tournament. Okay, well, the women's tournament doesn't create the type of revenue that the men's tournament creates. But that's another story. We'll talk about that later on. Here's what you men have to understand. A woman is going to show out whenever she wants to show out in this modern society. They're going to come out scantily clad. They're going to do all types of things. They're going to do whatever they want to do and be as freaky as they want to be and be as scantily clad as they want to be. And they don't even want you to say anything to them. You see the backwards nature of that society? I don't want to be in a society where women do everything in their power to be sexy. And then you got to worry about me too if you even approach a woman or say something to her. You know, I'm not cold approaching no woman, but for the men who are. I do a lot of talking about cold approaching, man, because it ain't my thing and I don't think it's alpha. But if men are going to do it, a man shouldn't be punished because he just goes up and speaks to a woman. He sees a woman who's obviously trying to draw male attention, and then she draws his attention, and then he's got to deal with Me Too. He's got to be Deshaun Watson around here, man. He's got to be Bill Cosby around here. And this is the type of thing that women do. So what is it? I think we should just ignore women who behave this way. A woman who behaves this way should not be a woman that you're out in public with. No matter how beautiful she is, you men have got to stop thinking that every piece of eye candy is sweet, because some of this eye candy is bitter and sour as hell. It'll make you pucker up like you've been eating lemons. And a woman like this who wants to be sexualized, if she over-sexualizes herself, then she should be left at home. You should only see her at night, behind closed doors. And I guarantee you they get themselves together when they realize that just being beautiful wasn't enough. You men have got to stop letting just being beautiful be enough, because it's not enough. And it never has been enough until this current crop of men, this current generation of men. And the truth of the matter is, these women aren't really even that beautiful because they wear 10 pounds of makeup and 18 pounds of weave. So she's 28 pounds heavier just to come outside and go on a date with you. But if that's what you like, man, cool. Because we're not even talking about the appearance of women now. We're talking about the actions of women. We're talking about the mindset of women. We're talking about the spiritual aloofness of women. Because these women are going to do whatever they want to do. And they absolutely do not care how you feel about it. They absolutely do not care how I feel about it. They absolutely do not care how one another feels about it. So what we have to do as men is understand that we have to keep women in their place. If she is a woman who sells sex, who perpetuates herself as a sexual being, then she should only be dealt with in that capacity. If she is a woman who deals with herself and presents herself as a professional woman, an intellectual woman, then that's another characteristic of her you can embrace. If she presents herself as a spiritually astute woman, a woman who wants to do the right thing, a woman who lives and tries to have a high moral fiber and a very reliable moral compass, then yes, that's another thing you can add to it. But you can't just meet a woman because she's beautiful and then add the moral compass and the spiritual astuteness and the intellectual capacity and the professional ability to her just because she's beautiful. And that's what we're dealing with out here. You got a bunch of beautiful women who are in the position of wife, and they should be in a position of scallywagged out on the side. And that's just what we're dealing with out here in this particular society. Now, you take a woman out, buy her a meal, and you got to deal with this, her acting a fool out there like this. She be paying for her own food, bro. That's real talk. She better figure it out. I want you to just look at this activity. We know what this activity represents. Here's a woman who has dreams of being a porn star right here. But listen, a lot of women have dreams of being porn stars, dreams of being strippers, dreams of being called girls. But those women aren't going to act on it. Those are the type of women who want to role play with you in the bedroom. They figure out a way to get it in another way. See, those are the women with whole tendencies. But then you have women like this who just can't resist. The chick who was twerking on top of the moving car before a baby daddy came and snatched her off the car. The chick who opened her mouth, stuck her tongue out, and gave Salt Bae man the major eye contact. Those women express themselves through her activity. And you got to understand that if you have a woman who expresses herself this way publicly, you ain't got yourself nothing. You shouldn't be around her. You shouldn't be near. It's like marrying a stripper. Like, why would you marry a stripper? It makes no sense. You know that that woman's mind is based on her body being able to make her money. How can you? She's not a wife. You men have got to understand that the wives are gone, man. If you want a wife, you're not going to find a wife in America, bro. That's real talk. You're just not going to find a wife here. And I'm not saying go get ufufu from some African village who can't even speak English. I'm saying there are many beautiful women around the world, many beautiful black women around the world in well-developed countries, in well-respected countries, in powerful countries, in wealthy countries who aren't quite caught up in this foolishness. And some of them aren't caught up in this westernized foolishness at all. But American women are completely overwhelmed by this westernization. And as a man, that should be the last thing you want your woman to exhibit. Because I know it's the last thing I want mine to exhibit. You have to understand, man, that you owe it to yourself to have what you want in a woman or have no woman at all. If a woman wants to play a position, that's a position she wants to play. You can't put her in another position. You can't hire a high school dropout for a position that requires a master's degree. They'll never be able to figure it out. And that's the same thing as taking a woman who has no propensity in life except to be over-sexualized, even if she's self-over-sexualization, and put her in a position of being a wife, a woman who respects herself, a woman who respects her man, a woman who respects her reputation as his woman. You got to stop making foolish mistakes. And you got to start by understanding the difference between her tendencies and her activity. Because though that line is thin, it is strong. Like 2-pound test line with the strength of 8-pound test line. Y'all comment down below and let me know what you think about this topic, man. I look forward to hearing what you men have to say. I'm out.